Okay, so there's nothing like sitting down on a cold winter morning with your cup of coffee and you hear something, you think, well, why is the garbage disposal running? And you think to yourself, wait a minute, we don't have a garbage disposal. Welcome back to Renewed Homestead, everybody. It is winter, and with winter we've got cold and we've got water problems. So what is the noise that we heard? Sounded like a garbage disposal. No, it was our water pump, and we had it running, and we'll get into that in a moment. But anyway, so we didn't have any water coming out, and the pump was just running and running and running and trying to pull water through the I'm going to walk you through what we've got with the hose that runs from our the hose bib. Has to run about 50-60 feet over to the RV. Well, I don't know what I was thinking, but for whatever reason I left the water pump on. Well, we're hooked up to pressurized water because it goes directly to the well. We didn't have to have the pump on, but anyway, so we needed to clear it out. Here we go, it's freezing out, we don't have any water, and a little bit of panic set in. We looked it up, looked up the pump size, part number and all that, got one ordered, not overly expensive, but went through and got this thing cleaned out, and we're going to take you through all that. But anyway, we have water back, but that panic sets in. It's like, okay, we've been in this RV way too long. It's getting way too small. We have to move 6 things to do one thing. It's just ridiculous. And the last thing we needed was for our water to go out or the pipes to get frozen up inside and rupture inside the RV. Fortunately, that did not happen. But let's take you out, walk you through what we had to do. It turned out a lot better than it could have. So here we go.
So in order to determine if it was a water pump issue or if it was in fact a frozen water line, Ben had to take the hose and actually blow air through the hose, and we started seeing ice coming out. So at that point then he figured it was definitely a frozen water line. I joked with him and I said it was a good thing he was full of hot air. He was able to get all of the ice out. Once we connected it back in, thank God, we had water.
Okay, it's still raining, but I've got good news. It was just a frozen water line hose. And so we laid it out, we got it cleared out. Quite a bit of ice in there. Anyway, so now the issue is we don't want this to happen again. And like I said, we have it running through 2-inch line and under old carpet. So what I've done, we have some 3-inch pipe and some pieces of 4-inch pipe. So I'm going to put that over the hose inside the 2-inch, the 2-inch side inside the 4-inch and the 3-inch to get the most coverage we can. Then we've got some bags from feed, some beans and whatever, animal feed and stuff like that. So I'm going to cover the pipes with that and then put the carpet over the top of that. So I would think with more or less 4 layers of insulation, that should stop it. We didn't have a problem last year. It had no problem whatsoever. Oh, and the other thing is, I'm thinking the pump's going out. And everything I was reading said, no, you don't have to have your pump on if you're hooked up to a water supply, a pressurized water supply. And I'm like, well, it's not working. Maybe there's a bypass. Well, no, it was just the frozen hose. So As soon as the hose was cleared, I hooked it up to test it in the RV, and sure enough, it's running through just fine. The water heater's heating just fine, plenty of pressure. Of course, it went and blew stuff all over me because I had dirty dishes in the sink. Yeah, but anyway, can live with that. That's why they make spray and wash, right? So now let's get this all hooked back up before it really starts coming down and before it starts getting cold again, because I think tonight we're going to be down in the 20s, just like the mid-20s. But the next 2 nights we're looking at about 10 degrees for a low. So let's get this wrapped up good and tight. I have a little bit of insulation that was put in the walls of the shop, and where the hose comes up out of the pipe, I've had just like some of the carpet and things kind of wrapped around it. I'm going to wrap that insulation around that part going up underneath and into the RV. I don't know why I didn't think of doing that before, but anyway, we'll get that wrapped up good and tight, and hopefully that does it. So I'll take a picture at the end here and show you what a beautiful sight it is to have carpet laid out in the middle of your yard. It's temporary, right? All temporary. Yeah, filming you from inside because it's raining out here. Don't want my camera getting wet. My phone camera. These are just some pieces of cardboard that were packing material. I think I'm going to slip these inside the 4-inch PVC around the 2-inch. Just, like I say, layers on layers. You know, I really don't want to have to deal with this again. You know, ever. Once the RV's sold, I won't ever. Actually, that cardboard will help fill the gaps between where the 4-inch pipe doesn't meet, because we don't have enough of that length. It's just extra, so it'll help. Oh, look what I found. One more piece of 4-inch. We'll stick that on the other end against the 3-inch pipe. Hey, I'm happy to see that. Okay, let's cover this up. So, see, there's just a rubber boot under there, right here. That's gonna slip down here and just help with this connection, just to give it a little more insulation. Hose. That's that cardboard inside of a then it goes into the 2-inch pipe, into the 4-inch pipe. Spacer with some cardboard. 4-inch pipe. There, now you can see the 2-inch pipe. So we'll definitely put a couple of those bags across there, and carpet, of course. Yeah, we'll do that. Anyway, okay, so coming along, there's some 4-inch pipe, back to the 2-inch. There's some more 4-inch pipe. I'm sure we've got some bubble wrap around here. Sorry for the angle, but I will probably shove some of the bubble wrap down in there just to create I've got some on that end, and that's where the hose comes out, up underneath the RV. And then I've got it wrapped around with some more insulation. Actually, insulation going in. That's some insulation that came in one of the food meal kits. I'm just giving it everything we can to make sure this doesn't freeze up again. More insulation there. I will put another piece on that last little exposed area, but it is insulated. That door will be shut. And then a couple of those boxes from the meal kit, I will put those, on the inside, and the door will shut on that, and it'll give us just that much more extra insulation. So. That's a prevention is worth a pound of cure, right? This will keep me from coming out in the middle of the night when it's freezing cold out and trying to blow hot air through this hose. You all know I'm full of hot air.
It isn't pretty, but it is going to keep the water from freezing up. We keep telling ourselves it is only temporary.
All right, so as you saw, we got the lines all cleared, wrapped back up, covered, thinking, okay, this won't freeze up. I was at one of the big box stores and found some of that insulation, the round insulation for round pipes. Put some of that around the hose going in. We are still having a little bit of freezing in there, but you know, the nights when we're down in the teens, we turn on just the water, just a little drip, because running water won't freeze. So, you know, thinking that it was the pump and we had to have one, and without water, then we're going to have water in the lines freezing. So we ordered a new pump. I have not installed it, but you know, that's where I'm very blessed to have good problem-solving skills, and I think that's why I maybe that's what part of the reason I love homesteading, because there's always new problems to solve and creative ideas, things to fix. Fortunately, this was an easy fix, but the pump, I mean, you know, if we called out a repair company, especially on an RV, the service call would be hideous. This would have cost twice what we paid for it, and really and truly, if you look at it, threaded on both sides for the hose, the inlet, the outlet, and 2 wires. 4 screws putting back in. So you take the old one out, you map it right back in. Simple fix. You know, if you are pursuing this lifestyle, ducks in the background, sorry. You know, do you have tools to do fixes? You know, you can never have all the right tools for all the right problems, but you know, it's something that if you are leaving the city, it's something to consider. You know, if you're at a garage sale or whatever and somebody's getting rid of some tools that you don't have, by all means, I would pick them up, especially any kind of hand tools. If it's electric, you know, sure, if it's a good deal, but you know, if screwdrivers, Dad was laughing because Harbor Freight used to give out these coupons for free screwdrivers. It was like a set of 10 or something like that. I had mine, I have some of his, I've got a whole mess of Grandpa's screwdrivers, but when he was helping us move from, Chandler to Gilbert, I think he stopped counting at 200 screwdrivers, so maybe that's a bit excessive, but it's also allowed me to have some screwdrivers down at the house, some in the RV, some in the shop, and a few in the barns, and a couple on the ATV now, so... Anyway, it's just, there's, you know, you're always prying or opening or whatever if you don't have a knife handy. But anyway, I'm getting way off subject here. So that was it. What sounded like a garbage disposal was just the water pump, and it didn't even need to be on because we were on pressure, you know, the water pressure from the well. Maybe we've had it on all this time, maybe we didn't. But anyway, so it's fixed. The lines are cleared. Winter is hopefully we'll have an early spring. You know, as you know, we've got the seeds already starting. Lots of them are coming up, real little ones, and just looking forward to growing and not having to worry about the water freezing. And the water lines in the house are done. The gas line in the house has been under pressure for over 24 hours without losing any pressure. Kept losing pressure there, but anyway, that's done. We're waiting on one more quote for drywall. Hopefully we can get that done, because once that's done, we're moving in. And you know, it's been way too long in that RV. So anyway, all right. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you found something useful in this, or at least entertaining. But give us a thumbs up. Make sure you share. You know, we're trying to grow the channel, and it's grinding along, but you know, if you share it, that helps us out a lot, and we really appreciate it. But Anyway, as always, be good to yourself, be good to each other, get the pet spayed and neutered. All right, take care, everybody. God bless. Bye-bye.